All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We've dubbed this Facebook Knights of the Round Table because what you're about to hear is probably what most people would be dying to hear. But we decided to share this live with you. So, have an amazing panel here. If anyone's done anything with Facebook in the last few years, the names and the people that are on here now will definitely be familiar to most of you. I'm Ilan Ferdman. I'm of SatoriPrime. You can probably see that behind me. My brother, unfortunately, could not be here. He's on a plane in Australia. But with us, we have Curt Maly, Jason Hornung, and Justin Brooke. It's like the powerhouses of Facebook right now. This is pretty cool. So, do you guys want to just say hi, and then we'll tell them what we're doing here?
Hi.
All right. Do you guys want to introduce yourself?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm Curt Maly, Black Box Social Media. I have a social media agency. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on Facebook. I'm frustrated just like everybody else, really just here to help. And of course, I have my own products and services that we've designed outside of our agency, teach people how to run stuff and really collaborate. So I'm just really here to collaborate more and learn from everybody else. But Curt Maly, Austin, Texas.
Jason? Well, I'm Jason Hornung. I'm not really sure why I'm here because these guys are way bigger than me. So it's kind of a privilege for me to just be on the same call with these guys, and hopefully, I can give some input and info that will be valuable to other people too.
All right, so I'm Justin Brooke from IamScalable.com. We do media buying for supplement companies, financial newsletters, and software businesses. We spend in the six-figure per month range on Facebook, but we also have accounts in 13 other networks. We do a lot more than just Facebook. But that's what we're here to talk about today, problems and knowledge that we are encountering with Facebook right now. And I don't know that we have all the answers. I know I certainly don't have all the answers, but I do have a lot of value in things that I know are right and mistakes that I've made that you can learn from.
Yeah, awesome. So with Jason, we run some agency stuff, and personally, we run some masterminds, and we do a lot of training on Facebook. But I'll say that the reason we kind of started this is because Curt had an amazing video. Curt, that was about 3-4 months ago?
About 3 months ago, yeah. I was basically just raised my hand and said, hey, I'm fed up. Here's what I know. I would love to hear additional feedback. And really, we've all been either reconnected, we've talked a little bit in the past, but it was really just, hey, I'm not selling anything. I just want to raise my hand, tell you, here's what I'm seeing. It's been passed around a lot, and I'm sure we'll have the link somewhere in here as well, too. Yeah. People can watch it. But yeah, it was just a video that says, hey, let's chat. And this is just a bigger extension of that single video.
Yeah, and then Justin had an amazing post after speaking to someone on Facebook about, the transitions and what they're doing. And then we all kind of started brainstorming about how, people are just fed up. It's like terms of service tell you so much, and then, it's always changing. And what we decided is, look, like Justin said, we don't have all the answers. And again, Facebook to me is always like this living, breathing thing. And at the end of the day, we're on their platform, right? Like they have the right to sadly do whatever the hell they want to do. But there's some guidelines that we want to share with people so that it helps all of us in the long run. Because I think what's really killed a lot of other people's businesses is, people doing scammy, for lack of a better term, douchey stuff. And it gives all of us a bad name. So we're going to cover a few things today. And again, these are not, here's the disclaimer. We're not Facebook. We don't make up these rules. But what we're going to share with you is our experience of what's worked and what definitely hasn't worked so that you can avoid some of the pitfalls. All of us spend multiple six figures a month on Facebook. And it's like, even with that being said, there's still stuff that's always changing. And we don't really get treated any differently from you guys. So here's what we want to cover. We want to cover some guidelines. We're going to cover how to get your accounts back, because I think that's something that people ask us all the time. And then, what we're seeing Facebook doing now, what we see it doing in the future, et cetera. So why don't we start with this? And Justin, just kind of, let's just start with you. You're right here to my right. But In your conversation when you spoke to Facebook, you definitely learned some interesting things. What did they share with you about the guidelines of like what they're looking for in general? Why don't we kick off with that?
Yeah, so basically what I got out of the conversation was their true motive. Before I was a Facebook guy, I was an SEO guy. Before even that, it was Google AdWords. So, and it's just marketing, really. I mean, I just go where the traffic is. But I've seen the same things over the 9 years I've been doing this, and I know that if I can learn what their agenda is, what their overall mission is, then I can usually figure out what to do and what not to do, because they can never be specific enough in their rulings. And that's they literally said that over the phone. It's like, there are millions of advertisers and there are tens of thousands of different reasons why an ad account gets shut down. It's impossible for them to be specific about why your account got shut down or whatever reason. And so they point to, that's why they give you vague reasons why your account was shut down. And that's why there's only a couple of case studies that they share, is they've chosen the best answers to solve the most problems. And you have to kind of interpret what that means. So that's one of the biggest lessons here, is that when you read the guidelines, it is not a word for word specific ruling on what you should and should not do. It is a guideline. It is not the rule book. It's just a guideline for you to follow. And if you look at what their big agenda is, which I'll tell you in just a second, and you look at the guidelines, you can then kind of piece a lot more things together and understand what you should be doing. So on the call, they said that their agenda is they're trying to prove to the Facebook user and to society, the world, whatever you want to call it, that advertising can and should improve the user experience. So when you're creating your ads, you have to ask yourself, is this image, is this ad copy, is this campaign improving the Facebook user experience, or is it intruding on the Facebook user experience? So now I know that's not very clear, that's not very specific, and a lot of people have had questions about that, and I had questions about that. I was like, well, how do you judge that? And they said, the first way that we judge this is we look at the trust. So we look to see if you're using images that are not related to your campaign, or if you're just using images to get attention. That's one of the trust breaking signals for them, is that you're just trying to game the system instead of create an ad that is relevant and that is helping the user have a better experience. Another one is using fear-based copy, using hypey claims in your copy, using autoplay videos with no controls, with the order button doesn't pop in, and you've got exit pops. If you're doing all these things to kind of force the user to do the thing that you want them to do, then that's not really a pleasant experience for the user. And then they end up going back and complaining, and when they complain, your account goes under review. So it's just not a good thing. Whether the gurus told you it was good or not, on Facebook, it's not. And that has become very, very clear. So those are some specific things that you can point to. But basically, are you being 100% trustworthy and transparent with your ad? No fear, showing your true intentions behind the ads. And if you are, then you should be okay. That's really the best that I've got so far.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm listening to the story, and it's kind of like when you first start dating a girl and you're like, how do I make this chick happy? And like, she doesn't come to you and is like, so here are the top 10 things that I need you to do for me, and it's going to make me really happy. It's like, I don't know, go fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate part. Real quick, Justin, when you spoke to them, did they say anything about the fact that now users can, in fact, flag your ads and say, like, I don't want to see this because of X, Y, and Z? Are they using that specifically to kind of red flag your ads, or are they looking at your ads on their own with the pictures and the hype and all that stuff?
Yeah, so the way that I was told is that they're using the complaints. They call them complaints. It's whether they exit out or whether they hover over the little triangle thing and choose hide all ads. Those are all signals for them that for some reason a user doesn't like this experience. And so then they go and investigate it. Now they also know, and they said that they're aware that some people are just out against all advertising, and they don't care what the ad is, they're just going to shut it down. But he said that they're not just counting them cluelessly. They're not just racking up against you. Basically, the complaints are a signal to have your account reviewed. And once it's reviewed, if something is found, a misleading image, copy, landing page, then your account gets, either the ad gets shut down or the account gets shut down. He also said that the accounts don't usually get shut down if it's a problem with the ad. They said that if it's on the ad side, the ad will usually get disapproved. If it has something to do with your business model or the landing page, that's usually when it leads to an account shutdown.
Got it.
And I can add to Justin's as well too. So some of the things I've talked to directly, the same people he's been talking to in a Facebook event, was I asked him and I go, do I get discounted on my ads if there's those crazy people out there that just keep on hitting the X? They have an algorithm that can tell between, okay, this person always complains or this person never complains is going to have a much higher weighted average as well too. Yep. So they're looking for total participation. Now, what Facebook's told me directly is they're really trying to automate as many places as possible. They have so many problems with hackers coming in, engineers improving the experience. They don't want to be held liable for Facebook ads that are illegal or wrong anyway. So what they're doing is they have a very small customer service department, and they're trying to figure out how do we not talk to people that much because it could be a liability, and how do we gauge when people either are very rarely responding to these ads and closing them out. So they have a whole, what they told me is they have a whole quality score system, but they didn't call it quality score. They called it another name, and it's an acronym, and it's 3 letters, and I can't recall what it is off the top of my head. But what they said is they're trying to figure out what's the happy medium for people that really participate, don't participate. How can we automate this whole process to be just very smooth where ad accounts get turned on or turned off? So, I'll tell you this is, I'll share as much information as we can, but I think we all agreed right before the recording, it's like everybody should read their own terms of use because they change all the time. But what we're going to give you is just close estimations, because even what Facebook has told me directly, I ran what they told me directly and still had ad accounts shut down too. So
yeah. And by the way, we've all had multiple ads accounts shut down. And I think the reason that the 4 of us wanted to be on this call is because we do believe that there's some sort of ethics and integrity that has to go back into Facebook marketing. And not that it's our job to do that, but hopefully we can inspire people to do things the right way so they're not, screwing everyone else up. Jason, is there anything else you wanted to add?
One of the things that I kind of look at to determine if I'm on the right path, which these guys didn't really talk about, is in terms of how people are commenting on the actual ad. Because usually if you get quite a few, negative comments, you can tell if that's going to be something that Facebook's going to like or not. And so I'll use that kind of feedback direct from the consumer to kind of guide, how I'm doing my ads. So, one of the things that we try to really do now is keep the ads. I think of my philosophy on it is I try to think of it as starting a conversation with somebody, because it is a social network. So we make the ads a lot more conversational now. Instead of having like a headline where we're making a claim, we're just simply asking a question. And what I've seen on that is we never have any problems, one, with getting ads approved doing that. And 2, we get way more engagement on the ads, and people seem to like them. We've seen a lot higher amounts of likes, positive comments, and shares on that structure to an ad.
Nice, which will probably help if what's Curt's saying is accurate, with the whole algorithm and people are shutting it down. I'm sure if they go and look at the ad and see that people are positively engaging with it, then they'll probably make it seem, in their world, it might actually occur like, well, these people are just, they're the haters. They're going to hate everything.
Well, you know what I'd be interested in finding out is from Facebook if, you know, like, because I know they're keeping track of all the stuff that people say they don't like about the ads. But I mean, what if you are creating stuff that people like? I mean, are they adding any positivity to your account that can offset some of that negativity? Because it sure would suck if you create a million ads that people love and then you create one ad that people loathe, and that one ad gets your whole account shut down.
Yeah.
You know?
And the funny part is, as marketers, I think the whole point is sometimes to polarize people. Like, you know, even car companies, sometimes they'll build a car and it's either you love the way it looks or you hate the way it looks. But that's the whole point. Like, that's why they built that car. They're not trying to build a car that everyone likes. So I just have one quick thing and we can move on to something else. Most of us run traffic, either personal or for clients, of their own products, right? So it's like their own things. A lot of people, though, get on Facebook and they're trying to do either like CPA offers or affiliate offers. So I just want to kind of interject into this that when you're doing that, there's a few things we'll talk a little bit about account shutdowns. But, you know, if you're using like a company landing page or, you know, you're driving people directly to like a ClickBank offer or CPA offer, something like that, I mean, you're going to get your ad account banned. Like, pretty much straight out the gate, because you're lumping yourself in with thousands of other people who have already kind of like blacklisted that URL or that landing page or whatever. So just keep in mind when you're first starting out, especially, you really want to create your own custom things. You know, what Jason's alluding to, the reason he has that conversation, the ad actually takes people to something that will educate them on something, not just try to sell them something. And I think it's very important to have that distinction. Do you guys do any affiliate stuff for clients, or is it's pretty much all personal, like their own personal products, right?
I've done some affiliate stuff that I can talk to.
Yeah. So if there's any pointers that you can give people, that'd be great, because I know a lot of people do that.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things, I mean, I think it's just the best practice in affiliate marketing. And I want to preface this with, I am not like an affiliate expert. My friends are, you know, and I've done some affiliate marketing. I've made thousands with affiliate marketing, but that's like not my business model. So you should look to somebody who's absolutely done that. But from what I've done myself and from what I've heard from my friends who are absolute experts at affiliate marketing, a best practice is just to have your own landing pages, having your own funnel that you can control. Because if you're just a traffic broker, at the end of the day, you have no assets. You have no way of differentiating yourself from all the competition that's out there. And if you are just sending traffic to the same landing page that everybody else is, I mean, you're in a game that's really unwinnable. So it's really important that you have your own stuff, just in good basics, fundamentals of affiliate marketing, but even more so with Facebook, because what people need to understand about Facebook, especially if you're using newsfeed ads, is Facebook doesn't actually have a lot of inventory. And what that means is a lot of traffic. And so in the newsfeed, they're trying not to show the ads too often, because if they show the ads too often, it really upsets the user. So they try and cap your newsfeed ads, 2, 3, sometimes as high as 7, but you're normally not going to get an ad seen too many times. Well, if you are advertising the same copy and the same landing pages, basically the same ads as another affiliate marketer, then you are really limiting the ability to show those ads, and you're also creating a very big problem for Facebook. And this is, Facebook doesn't have an issue with ClickBank. And when I talked with the reps at Facebook, they really don't have an issue with affiliates. They want to help affiliates. They like that affiliate marketers, and they're proud of their platform for affiliate marketers. What they don't like is when 100 guys are advertising the same product with the exact same cut and paste ads that the merchant gave them. That's what they can't deal with. That extremely hurts their system. And so that's why that's why it looks like they have a problem with MLM, with affiliate marketing. So create your own landing pages, create your own ad copy. I know it's harder, but if you want to win, this is what you got to do.
Yeah. Here. I mean, and that was exactly my point, that especially when you start out, I know all you want to do is like get on Facebook, throw up a bunch of ads and blah, blah, blah. But like all of us can tell you, and we've taught hundreds, if not thousands of people how to do this. Like if you're going to do that, I know you get excited because you want money. The problem is one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to be very unsuccessful with that campaign, or you're just going to get your ads account shut down. It's much better to actually learn, do things the right way, save that advertising budget, go out, learn how to create your own landing page to maybe an editorial or something that explains about, if you're selling like a fitness product, well, explain to people through some articles about what the benefits of that thing could be, and then take them to something and give them that option. It's going to be much cleaner than just throwing them to, whatever, like Muscle Maximizer, VSL or something, which Facebook's going to hate.
One more thing I want to add to the affiliate things. The best campaign I've ever run for affiliate marketing, I ran it for months and months and months before it finally got tired and I took it down. I created a blog post. Most of you probably saw this. It was a blog post where I reviewed the top 18 or top 13 tools that Facebook marketers would use. And then the 3 that I ranked as the top 3, I had my affiliate link with those. That type of blog post is a great strategy for you to use with affiliate marketing. And it's not something that I just whipped up or dreamt of. It's something that's been being used by affiliate marketers in PPC ads for a long time, is doing product reviews and adding that kind of, your own blog post, your own flavor, your own style, your own opinions, and ranking the products, helping the consumer make a decision is exactly the way to make affiliate commissions. And that was profitable for a long time. So I highly advise that campaign.
Yeah, go ahead, Curt. I want to add something to that here real quick with the affiliate marketing. I mean, I just want to voice it again as well too. A lot of customers, even we talk to, don't know their lifetime value of their customer. I think if you want to get into this, and this comes from, my backstory is I lost everything, no money, no credit. Like anybody can start from wherever you want. That's what I love about this business. But if you want to build a business and not a hobby, you have to get a front end funnel. I mean, I've seen some of Justin's advice, what he gives for opt-ins, which are absolutely just amazing. I use a lot of the stuff that I know, Justin, when you and I met first in Austin in a mastermind I implemented. But man, if you're running straight up for an affiliate offer and you're not growing a list, you're not going to grow a business. You got a damn hobby. Facebook can shut you down at any time. But I think the 2 biggest things that a lot of people overlook is Facebook doesn't look at your damn follow-up. So if you get people in through a webinar and you're just adding value, like Lead Pages is a great webinar where they're like, you can hold webinars not to sell stuff, but even just to get leads to add value. Then an email follow-up or with retargeting ads. I mean, you can follow up with your different affiliate offers and site comparisons, but I can't voice it enough. I tell all of our clients, look, you have to have a funnel where people can come in. You have to have follow-up. In my opinion, days are gone from put $1 in, make $4 on an affiliate offer. You're just raking in cash. Like, you got to have a follow-up system. You got to be smart. And at the end of the day, Facebook's forcing you to run it as a business. So treat it as a business.
Yeah. And then also to both of your points, like when you do that kind of stuff, you are in fact, even though it's not your product, just by the mere fact that like you use this tool and you share that with people, well, guess what? If someone goes and buys that tool and they get value from it, they'll always remember that you're the one that introduced them to that tool. Now you've built that relationship. They're coming back to you, right? Like, well, what else does Justin recommend? And that's how you're building this business. So it's not always about like, get that cash right now. Always think, like Curt said, if it's not a hobby, but it's a business, it's got to be long-term thinking. Otherwise, you'll be out of this game real fast. All right. Anything anybody else want to say about guidelines before we switch topics?
Like on affiliate marketing specifically?
Yeah, or anything that we've said so far.
I'll just add one tip because I think I can add on something that would be valuable for people that are doing affiliate stuff. And it's kind of couched in something that Curt just really glossed over real quickly. But and this is a combination of what Justin talked about and then what Curt just glossed over. So retargeting is really kind of the wave of the future, and that's a real great way to pick up extra affiliate sales. So, if you want to be completely white hat and in compliance with and run Facebook traffic and do affiliate stuff, the best way to do it is to have a review type page or even just a blog post where you're given information that's completely white hat. put retargeting code from every single stinking network out there other than Facebook, and then just hit those people with your affiliate direct links on those ads and retarget them, and you'll get really low conversions, and you can make some pretty good ROI doing that. So you can leverage the Facebook traffic and then make your sales on the back end through retargeting, in addition to building your email list and stuff like that, which you really should be doing as well.
Yeah. It's interesting. We just started doing a test, which, other people can go out on their own and try also. Justin, this kind of ties into what you were saying about Bill O'Reilly earlier. We kind of, when we do our research, we try to figure out not like the in between the eyes marketing thing. It's like, if you're a fitness person, then, target bodybuilders, but more holistic, like what their mindset is. And so we found that, certain like mindset guys or authors or whatever really work well with certain offers that we promote. And so we did kind of like what Justin said, the top, I think it was like top 5 or top 10 books that entrepreneurs all have to read, like that kind of list. And what we did was we boosted that post. I think we spent like $50 on it, and it got something like, it was obscene. It was like 2,000 shares and like, 12,000. It was like so crazy. And we, just like Jason said, we put a retargeting pixel on there, and then now we have that list. So we know like those are the best mindset people, and then we can just market anything to those people. So sometimes you want to think about things a little more holistically than just trying to make that sale. And I think that'll definitely work.
Yeah, the key is thinking about how can you build an asset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the perfect line. How to build that asset. Because once you know that they think a certain way, they're the people that are likely to interact with other offers a certain way. All right, so let's go to part number 2 here. And before we talk about how to get accounts back, let's talk about some of the woes that we've all experienced in getting accounts shut down that are not in terms of service, that they don't tell you, like, if you do this, you'll get accounts shut down. Just from pure experience, I know before we were sharing some like crazy ass stuff that happened to us. So Curt, do you want to just start and just share like some of the ways that you've gotten accounts shut down?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there is no clear lines in the sand, so I can't say it enough. Everyone here who watches this video, and it never ceases to amaze me with students, read the terms of use. There just come a huge email out that came today. I'm sure you guys got it as well too. Facebook's changing the terms of use again and their user privacy rights. Please read all that up. Second thing that I would do is I would look through. Facebook has a bunch of other case studies. It's in the video that we talked about before, the compliance video. Facebook has lots of case studies. That doesn't mean that everything that they're doing is going to be right for you, but read through all those case studies. We tell clients all the time, unfortunately, hey, look, we're going to do the best that we possibly can. We're going to make sure it's inside the terms of use. We're not going to use any black hat. We're not spoofing any IPs. We're not redirecting people to anywhere. We're not using any third-party redirecting service that hits this button, sends them wherever. All we want to do is from my earlier comment, we want to build a business. We want to do the right things. So that being said, even though you do the right things, sometimes you'll get ad accounts shut down. Now, this can be for a wide range of things. This literally can be because they're all about fraud protection right now, and the whole thing's automated. That could be using a PayPal account to pay with. They don't like PayPal at all. That could be switching out credit cards, for example. That could be, and I know all of us have outsourcers who log into an ad account with another IP. Now, every single client I have gets logged into from the Philippines so they can run reports. However, I've had 1 or 2 clients have been affected because people outside the IP from the Philippines, from Canada, who logged in to add a second credit card, actually it was a PayPal address. So it's all these different logins for all over they absolutely don't like. And remember, there is no conversation or recourse here. So what we're telling you is these are best practices to use from what I've used, but it doesn't mean you can call Facebook to fix it. You got to be really careful to make sure everything you've learned in direct response marketing, I actually put in a binder and gave Facebook and said, tell me what you like or what you don't like. And they're literally like, everything you do here, we don't like. Don't use that. We're like, that's direct response. That's what everybody loves. It's proven to work. And they go, yeah, but we want to improve the user's experience. So you want to make all ads really clean. You want to make sure that there is no health or wealth claims whatsoever. Lose 10 pounds, make 10 grand. Nothing like that whatsoever. I think the best way to explain it is to start a story And when you start that story on Facebook, have it carry over to a story, whether that's like what we just talked about before, review sites or whatever, and that story carries on through a list. Now, a lot of us like to send stuff directly to a VSL. I like opt-ins so I can follow up. Facebook doesn't like people that don't have options, so send them to a VSL. There's no disclaimer. There's no other place to click for testimonials. It forces the user to do something. Facebook doesn't really like forcing the user. So at the end of the day, when an ad account shuts down, I actually go through this through my video, but it is, we're going to try to follow up with Facebook. We're going to send 3 or 4 responses to say, hey, we're raising our hand. Here's exact language. We want to be a good citizen. We want to understand what we did right or wrong, which they'll never tell you. But we would just like to better understand what specifically do we get our ad account shut down for, or what can we do differently? If we don't hear a response back after 3 attempts and 10 business days, we'll try to set up another ad account. But the thing I want to round out my portion of it here, what we're talking about is not to turn and burn accounts. They're going to shut you down and they're going to make you worse for everybody else. I tell clients, hey, look, I'm going to get your ad account up once. If they shut it down, I'm going to try a second time and I'm going to change the ads a little bit differently. But if it gets shut down for a second time, that means they don't like your product. They don't like the landing page. We're going to do a new URL. We're going to do a new product. So this is not a turn and burn. If they do shut you down, it's an automated process. Know that there is some recourse, but not much. And one of the things I'd like to encourage everybody here who's watching this recorded video, put down your experience below. I know we're going to do another video later to kind of follow up, but I'd love to hear what you think that you got your ad account shut down. Because again, we're only guessing because Facebook does not come back and say, here's specifically what happened. So be careful, document it, and please let us know down below what you're seeing as well too. And I'd love to hear what you other guys are seeing out there.
Yeah. Jason, what are you seeing?
In terms of just account shutdowns or ad disapprovals, both? What are you?
Account shutdown.
Okay. Well, I mean, we had one that I was telling you guys about off this before where, we took out a client, we started up an ads account for him, submitted an ad, and then it instantly went into unusual activity was what they claimed it was. And so I've been running up the flagpole all day today and finally found out that ultimately what it looks like is because his account really hadn't been used much or at all in the last 3 years. And that was what flagged unusual activity. And that actually trickled down in our instance and has affected other ads accounts that I'm on. But that was a first for that one. Other than that, it's always going to be the type of offer that you're running, the claims that you're making in your ad copy, what you have on your landing page, everything that these guys have already talked about.
Justin, any others that you can share?
Yeah, so I think I kind of like to look at the broader picture here. I know everybody likes to look at specifics, and I'm just talking to the person that's watching. The broader picture here is that you need to be very aware of what's going on in your account and any differences, because any slight change, from your assistant logging in, or you're at a hotel somewhere and you decide to log in at a hotel, you need to be very aware that anytime you log into your account or anytime you change any data in your account, that could trigger a shutdown. So be aware of that and really limit how much of that is going on. If you have employees, send an email to your team and make sure that they know if you ever log into our Facebook account, make sure you do it from the same computer, from the same router that you're usually using your Wi-Fi access. Don't log in from the beach at some hotel somewhere. Don't log in at your friend's account or on your wife's computer. You just have to be very aware of what's going on in your account. That way you can at least limit the times when you're getting shut down because of unusual activity. Those are things that you can easily come back from, but sometimes it takes 3, 5, 10 business days to come back from that, and it can get quite annoying.
Yeah.
I also want to speak on, so what if it's not just an unusual activity? What are some things that people get shut down for that are just like bad behavior?
Yeah.
Bad behavior. One of our own company policies is we never submit a new ad or a new batch of ads. We never submit a bunch of ads at the same time if they're new. So we will oftentimes use tools that help us create 100 ads, 5 campaigns, these automation tools. But we learned the hard way is if you send in 150 new ads, which is really not a lot of ads for some of us power users, if you send in 150 new ads, it's easier for them to hit the account termination button than it is for them to hit the ad disapproval for all those different ads. I don't know if you're submitting these ads for disapproval. Don't keep resubmitting the same ad, even if you think it's good. I've seen so many people doing that. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong, so they keep submitting the same ad. You become a nuisance. They shut down your account.
Yeah.
So our policy in the company is when we're creating a new batch of ads, we get one approved first. If it gets approved, then we follow up with the 149 others or whatever. So that's another blooper that a lot of good people get shut down for by mistake.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I want to throw a couple others into the mix from personal experience. Definitely do not log in from different IP addresses. Account shut down for that. Also, make sure that your credit card or payment method. I didn't know that, Curt, about PayPal. That was news to me. That's an insight. But make sure your credit card that you used is in the same billing region as where you are logging in from. We had an account shut down because the credit card was on a client's name in Minnesota, I think, and we were running traffic in New York. And again, it did the unusual activity thing, but they would never let that account come back. We actually got that account back like 2.5 years later, out of the blue, just got it back. So make sure you do that. And then another thing to keep in mind is that, kind of like what Curt was saying, they are trying to automate the process, especially for ad approval, as much as possible. So there isn't this like manual process that a lot of people think until down the road. So like when people, like you said, Justin, they get the ad disapproved, and they go in there and they push the button like 12 times, like get it approved, get it approved. Most of the time it's because a URL has been flagged. What we found out recently, they've also been flagging Facebook pages. So if you're running traffic through like a Facebook page and then they don't like certain ads or they disapprove certain ads, like they will disapprove every ad that comes off that page. So if you're getting a lot of automatic disapprovals, maybe just create a new Facebook page and try that. For a lot of our students, that's actually been very, very helpful. And also keep this in mind. When you're creating a new account, you're like a fresh little baby, perfect, angelic little baby to them. If you're going to go out and you're just going to come out the gate trying to sell some sleazy shit, they're smart. Like they'll figure it out. They're going to be like, oh, this guy's just like a sleazy affiliate marketer, and they'll shut you down immediately. So just a couple of things I wanted to throw in there. All right. So now that we know how easy it is to get accounts shut down, how do we get them back?
So here's I want to add one more other thing to this as well too. Sorry, we're having an interesting conversation in the side chat as well too. A couple of different things. You're talking about switching over IPs, people setting up a fresh new account. We've even had accounts shut down when we've been starting to run a like campaign as well too. So there are certain Facebook pages, you're absolutely right, to shut those down. The biggest thing is what we're trying to do is really just give you advice more than anything else. So if that account does get shut down, there's really no other recourse you can go over except to learn from the experience. That's what we're going to highly encourage you to post down below as well. What are you running into? What are you seeing? And what kind of feedback do you have? I mean, we've even had accounts shut down before that are running completely within the terms of use. And we've had Facebook reps who said, actually, we're not really quite sure what that was shut down, but we know that we can't have you set up another ad account. So we're just going to have you do another one. So really quick, everyone has to move over to the business manager as it's going forward January 1st. Old accounts, fake accounts, even accounts that Facebook used to set up. People have asked me, hey, Curt, can I set up a fake profile? Facebook's taking a look at the profiles. We talked about this just a little bit, but I wanted to touch at it. Facebook's taking a look at profiles. Are you engaging? Are you using? People have told me, hey, I'm just going to set up fake profiles and set up another ad account. Facebook's going through right now, because they're a publicly traded company, and they're wiping out any of that fake data because it's not reporting correct on financials and the user database as well too. So they are absolutely just decimating anything that's a fake account. You got to play by the rules in this. Like, I can't stress it enough. And we're all trying to figure out the rules. That's why we're here. But don't set up a fake account. Don't set up a fake ID. Anything with the word fake in it should really be removed from your vocabulary. And we look at this all the time. It's a statement I know I've already said before. Are you treating your business as a hobby, or are you treating it as a business? And is it for long-term growth? Those should always be the two questions you ask yourself before you start to engage or start posting stuff on Facebook.
Curt, any specific solutions that you found on actually how to go about, since you can't set up a fake account. So say you get your account shut down, can you open another account in your name? And if you can, how would you do that?
You can. It's all underneath the business manager. And again, I know we'll put the link to the video in here on how we do that. It's like I tell people, is from what I've noticed from our agency, is you can start creating a bunch of accounts. There was a point at one time where I wasn't able to create new accounts. Facebook always told me, anytime you interact with a new client, you must set up a new ad account, even if they had one ad decline. So none of this is attached. From what Facebook said, is they have a quality score that goes from the ad set, or from the ad to the ad set to the campaign to the actual ads manager up to the agency account as well too. The thing is please keep this in mind if you're doing this for other people. If an ad account gets shut down from your agency and the business manager, you cannot remove any of those accounts whatsoever. That's really important. So you just have a permanent red mark. So be selective on who you run ads with. The other thing is again, when we see an account that's shut down that says, because of unusual activity, please upload your ID, sometimes we'll get those back, about a 50% chance of getting those back. And that is, we send a follow-up email every 3 days. I know Facebook says don't send multiple emails because it clogs the system. We don't have any other recourse. There's no case number that you can follow up or anything else. But ads that just, I would keep following up every 3 days until you get some response. Either two things are going to happen. You're either going to get a response from Facebook that says something along the lines of, Facebook's always looking to improve the user experience. Any ads that are contradictory to that objective, your ad account can be deleted, not used, whatever. You're either going to get that or you're not going to get a response. If you send 3 support tickets and you don't get a response within a 30-day period, your offer is not going to run, your ad account's not going to run. You can set up another ad account in your business manager, but it has to be for a different product. It has to be a different URL. There is no ghosting of a URL. Everything has to be set up. It has to be a brand new product. That's the best advice I can give you.
Okay. Just for anybody, what about credit card? Do they need to use credit card information when they get an account shut down?
Justin and I first got in a conversation where we all got a great idea where it was, hey, everybody can turn into this 30-day billing and Facebook will bill you. And Facebook just started shutting accounts down when we raised our hand and wanted to change the billing. We've had ad accounts shut down because their credit card needed to be updated and they missed 3 payments, and then they updated the payment from a different IP and it locked out the account. So whatever card that you're going to do, like what we do is we have, just the way you got to do it, we have a debit card hooked up. Like for our account, we have our clients do the same thing, or a credit card that doesn't have a limit on it. And we tell clients, this has to be a card that doesn't expire for a good long time. Do not change any type of payment. You have to hit your payments. If you start missing payments, Facebook will flag the account.
Do they associate a credit card or a debit card or whatever with the account that got shut down? Like if you put in that same credit card information again,
it looks like fraud in Facebook's eyes. It looks like that you're trying to reuse the same number. Temporary credit cards, temporary debit cards, deposit-only debit cards, they know. So absolutely, yeah, do make sure it's a long-standing good credit card so you can run that thing, again, for a long-term business.
Perfect. Awesome. Jason, Justin, anything to add?
Jason, you go first, buddy.
Okay, so yeah, we're talking about trying to get the accounts back. That's been a real sticking point for me. So I mean, I've only had one situation where we've ever really gotten anything back, and that was just by submitting the form and putting in the ID card and hoping and praying, basically. So, I mean, I've been trying to find answers from Facebook on that, and I actually talked to a guy today because they have this new program called Facebook Go. I don't know if you get Curt and Justin, are you aware of that program? Okay. So this guy is on the Facebook Go team, and they're basically sales guys. But he was telling me that, for new advertisers, they should really get on this because they'll actually get more help, and they'll actually give them some feedback on some of the best practices and stuff, so you don't run into some of these things. And they can help you out a little bit more. But apparently, he was telling me that all you can do is submit that form and then just wait to see if it comes back. And that's their best. That's their best advice.
Okay.
My turn?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, just to confirm some of the stuff that Curt and Jason were saying, you can come back from an account shutdown. And another thing that I want to address, and, this was, some of my own mindset as well. I used to think that if somebody got an account shut down, that was an immediate sign that person was doing black hat stuff. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I mean, these are the cleanest guys that I know of that are on this show here. And I go so far, and I think they would all agree that I try to do so much to be white hat and to teach white hat, and you still get your account shut down. It doesn't matter. I had an account that was running no ads. It shut down. Yeah. Nothing was running in the account, and it got shut down. Yep. So, I mean, white hat, black hat, really doesn't matter. There's all these, I think Curt is right. There's all these automations that they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out. They're a new, young ad platform, and they're trying to change the way things have been done, and they're under so much demand that, I'll be on their side a little bit. It's hard. They got to deal with all these million people, all these different situations, and they're trying to automate it. They're trying to change the game. They're trying to better the industry. Mistakes along the way, and we're all paying for it, but they definitely do need to have some more information. So getting back on point, getting an account back, definitely got to be using Business Manager. If you're using Business Manager, you can set up another account. You got to be using a different credit card with it. I have not been able to create a new ad account with a credit card that was already attached to an account that was shut down. So if you're using your own credit cards, you may need to file for some additional ones, or make sure you got a couple of backups. And then the other thing is, if you want to get an account back, you go to link. Make sure this is linked up in here. It's business.facebook.com/resources. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Some link for people to have. That's really where you're going to be able to go to get anything you need, to be able to talk with somebody, to contact them, to get any of your answers or your questions answered. And there's another thing. We're not really powerless. We're not without, the only option is to be able to submit information to that form. If we get loud enough, if we get clever enough, it is possible to get these people to pay attention to us. There are, if you just do a little bit of research on Google and you find out who the higher ups are, and you find out what their LinkedIn profiles are and their Twitter profiles. And I mean, I hate to resort to this, but this is what they have forced me to. And I mean, it's literally worth millions of dollars. I can't back down. I can't just, wait the 3 days or 10 days that you're telling me to wait. I will go broke. I will lose my business. So if you're proactive, you can find these people on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and get a hold of them, and then they can sometimes help you. So sometimes you just have to go a little bit farther than everybody else is willing to go. And I don't want to blow up any certain person's LinkedIn or Twitter, so I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm just saying that it is pretty public information who are the top people in the Facebook ecosphere.
Yeah. To Justin's point about the credit cards, I had the same experience. We were never able, like once an account got shut down, we were never able to use that credit card again. Again, this is not like the best way to do it, but it's kind of like, it's the only way that we figured out is you can report your card lost or stolen. They'll send you a new one with a new number. We went also and changed the billing address. I don't know if that's even necessary, to be honest with you, but that's been our experience. So kind of where I want to segue from this is like, look, I would venture to say, would you guys say that like 2-3 years ago, if you had account shut down, it was like that to get an account back? Today, it's like
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago, right? Like today, it's a shit show. It's like
you never know.
Ask me, and I'm like,
you pretty much just got to make a new one.
Yeah. So, having said that, and this kind of brings it back full circle, is like the whole idea is have a sense of what it is that you're doing, and always think, like Curt said, from the long term. Like, if this is your business, treat it like such. You wouldn't put your child at risk. Think of this as your child. Like, deal with it to that level. And most of the time, and we only do white hat stuff, most of the time you're going to be okay. Sometimes, look, I think we still get all wrapped up into that same category sometimes. Like, they don't know who Curt is or Justin is or Ilan or Jay. To them, we're like a number that's paying some sort of amount a month. But because of that, I just kind of want to talk to you guys, and we were talking about this a little before, but it's like, we see a lot of changes happening, and we're always solution finders and trying to, figure out how to move and what to do. Let's say that this is, in my opinion, the best people on Facebook right now are sitting on this panel, minus, a couple here and there. Where do you guys see this going? And what are you doing in your business to work into the future of what you kind of see is happening? And
I have a really small comment, and then I'd love to hear Jason's thoughts on this as well too.
Yeah.
Just to be really, really clear to everybody, we talk about a long-term business model. We are super freaking spoiled in this business. When I say long-term, that could be 60 days, 90 days. Like we all signed up originally for the 40-year plan, which we found out that sucks. For the most part, we've all been doing this just a couple of years. So just because we say this is long-term plan, remember, this is not like the 40 you signed up with. Like, this is a couple of months, 6 months. Hell, I can tell you from personal experience, 3 years ago, I didn't have any money, any credit. Holy shit, the things I've been able to do in 3 years. So please keep it in perspective when we say longer-term plan. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify that a little bit, and I'll jump right on over to let Jason speak some as well, too. I'd love to hear his thoughts on it.
Yeah, so, where we're going right now is obviously getting everything moved over onto Business Manager, because we haven't been real active on that. And so that also, not understanding that platform, it kind of led to some problems that I'm experiencing this week. But to really be in compliance, we're moving everything over onto Business Manager. When we run traffic, we focus exclusively on certain markets. So I try to stay away from anything that's, MLM, make money online, affiliate type stuff to a certain degree. And then, even like, health related stuff, unless it's more like a book type offer. So we're real selective in the offers that we're running. And then, we're just trying to give the user that experience that they want. So, coming at the copy and the landing pages from that perspective of starting a conversation on the ad itself, and then continuing over onto the landing page to continue that conversation, and giving them an option to go deeper into that conversation. Okay. So we basically, the way that we start the ad is we want to focus in on a pain, and we ask them if they have that pain, and then we tell them that we can help them solve that, and we get really clear on how we can help them solve that. So, like, if we're going to drive people to an opt-in page where there isn't, a long form copy along with the opt-in, I'll say specifically on the ad now, register to get this. So we're telling them that they're going to have to register to, be able to receive that info. So we're setting the right expectation before they click over to that page. So just, being real transparent, being really upfront with, how we can help them, why we're there, specifically what they're going to get when they click over and how they need to interact with the page to get that. And then just being real transparent on the page itself and having, all your terms of service pages, privacy policy pages, stuff like that in place. That's what we've been doing to make it long term.
Jason, you should have worn a shirt that says "Be transparent."
Yeah. Did I say that too many times?
That was like I was gonna just hashtag it right there.
Yeah. Nice.
Good.
Justin, Curt, anything to add?
Yeah, so I just want to add here, my strategy, we already have a bunch of different accounts, and I was doing different ads before I got onto the Facebook ads for clients. So I'm lucky that I'm able to just move the budget over to other areas, and not everybody is that lucky. But so that's really what I'm doing is just spreading the ad spend around to make sure that I'm not just, like Dan Kennedy said, one is the most dangerous number in business. If you're solely relying on Facebook ads, then it's really your own fault when things go down. So it sucks to point the finger back at ourselves, but sometimes that's the most important thing that we need to do. So moving forward, I'm spreading the budget around a lot to native ads. I believe native ads are still the future, even though they were really hot this year. I think there's a lot more room to grow in native ads. I think YouTube ads is I know that people are starting to talk about YouTube ads, but it is still way, way underserved. I think Google AdWords is a good place to go again. They are, constantly on the phone with me. They're really willing to help. It's not like the old days, but maybe when all the marketers go back again, maybe they'll switch back. I don't know. So that's where I'm spending my money. I'm trying to spend money on Facebook, but I'm moving a lot of it over to Twitter ads, native ads, YouTube ads, Google AdWords, and that's really what I'm doing. And I kind of would like everybody to leave a comment. This part is really important to me. We're all trying to really decide on what we're going to do here. There's three options, really. We have the option to just go away. Like, we're annoyed with the way Facebook is treating us. We're not going to take it, so we're all just going to take our money somewhere else. Or we can try and wait it out. I'm not so sure that that's a real option. Or the other option is that we can all, kind of rally together, make some noise, and let them know that they can't treat us like this because, Google did it to us in 2009, 2007. Now it's Facebook. In 2020, it's going to be another ad agency. I think we as a community need to kind of, come together. I don't know what that looks like, but I know that we can't allow this stuff to happen. Not so much in a macho bravado kind of way, but in a way of this is how I put food on the table for my kids. And I need you as a network to understand that this is my life. This is my livelihood. This is not just an advertising play for me. This is literally how I feed my kids. And I need them to at least give me that level of respect and allow me to be able to fix the problems when there is a problem. So I don't know. Let me know in your comments what you think we should do, what you honestly would do yourself. And then, we're going to follow up. I think we all kind of agreed somewhere around January 5th with another video, kind of follow up to this with other lessons that we've learned, as well as based on all of your feedback, answering more questions, and also kind of a new perspective of what we feel like we're going to do if we don't get. That was it, man.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Curt.
Yeah, I agree with Justin. I think that nothing has ever been solved in life or history by not talking about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think, our politics is like, I've talked to that country, but we're not talking to them right now. But we want them to improve how in the hell can you have a relationship with anybody that you just don't talk to and then the problem just solves itself? Like, it never happens. Also, history has never been made by people quietly walking around and not saying anything. It's one of the conversations that we had before this is, I'd love to scream, knock on doors, yell at people, you know, send Zuck a package that says, dude, I just want help, right? Something like I'd send him a MacBook Air, whatever. Like, I know you can send poop through the mail. That's a whole other thing. But it's like, this is like Justin said, I mean, not to be funny about it, but this is the way he feeds his kids. I don't have kids, but this is the way that I run my business. This is what people have gotten to know me for. And really it comes to me as a level of trust where people say, hey, Curt, here's money that I'm going to pay for you to go out and find me traffic on Facebook or whatever. And I'm not able to service my clients who just want to do good things. I mean, recently we just had a gardening offer shut down. I mean, like how to grow a garden. And there's no rhyme or reason why something like that would be shut down. And I just think at the end of the day, unless we're all communicating, unless Facebook's communicating with us, my business is going to drastically change in the next year where I'm going to, as Justin said, I'm going to have to look for other avenue sources because I don't want to piss the wrong people off because this is my business, but I do want to raise my hand. And that's why I'm here to say there's a problem. I want to talk about it, but I need to look at this as a real business. I just gave everybody a speech that treat this as a business and not a hobby. And I feel it's kind of a hobby to where I call Twitter and spend $50 and they answer my questions. I go to Google and I spend $500 and they answer my questions. I go to LinkedIn, spend $100, they answer my questions. So for right now, for me, and again, I'd love to hear all your thoughts to comment down the video below. But what are you looking at for 2015? Are you tired of Facebook? Do you want to try to charge up together? What are you seeing out there? I'm raising my hand saying, hey, I want to be a good citizen. But on the other side, I'm saying, hey, I got to be a responsible business owner. I got a ton of clients that pay us that are amazing people that without a solid conversation with Facebook, I don't know what my long-term plan with Facebook actually is.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, to Justin's point, it's not only food on our kids' tables, but, because we run agency and train other people, like we're actually helping put food and change people's lives all over the world, right? Yeah. The fact that a person that has a gardening product who might be a genius at it and has no idea what the heck they're like, how people are going to find out about it. They go to someone like Curt, and Curt's like, well, I'm going to build you a massive stage online that you can, share this amazing stuff from. And the fact that that's being leveled is just like, it sometimes doesn't make sense. And I think we got on this phone call, we were all like sharing war stories, and it was just a little frustrating, but hopefully this conversation ignites some people and wakes some people up and starts a conversation. And Curt, I just want to read you this great quote because you remind me of it. Never believe that a few caring people can't change the world. That's all that ever have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couple of pointers from our perspective and something that we really teach and really try to drive home is at the end of the day, this is social media. Social media was not designed to stuff shit down people's throat. It was not. It was designed to build relationships. It was designed to connect just like you would with your friends in your, 15, 20 mile radius. But now you can do that with 1 billion people all over the world. That's an amazing platform. And we can't really take that for granted. And I think if you do what Jason was saying, where it's like, treat it like that, treat people with the respect of that they're on here to like have an experience. And, some of them are looking to find certain information about certain things, and some are looking to come and laugh, and some are looking to look at cute pictures. Like you can play off of that. It doesn't always have to be this, buy my shit, which I think gets people into a lot of trouble. So, like we said, send people to blog articles and do things like that. One of the things that we're testing personally is just a book giveaway. Like I'm literally buying people books off of Amazon. Like they opt in, I send them the book. Why? Because from a retargeting perspective, from a fact that I know they're going to read that book and then they're going to be like, holy shit, Ilan was the one that introduced me to that book. Like that's a relationship builder, right? So these are things that we're testing. And then also, like the other guys said, never put your eggs in one basket. I think that was like my first big lesson when I joined the online marketing space was we invested heavily in one company. The company's funnel just went kaput, like stopped working, and we lost our entire business. And that was like lesson number one. So don't do that. And then the other two things that I want to point out is every single person on here reads incessantly. We are obsessed with learning about our craft. in all aspects. But if Facebook is something that you want to master, then you have no excuse not to be reading blog posts about it and following, case studies and terms of service and all. Like, that is your job if this is a path that you choose. And if then you're like, well, I didn't know, that leads me to my next point, which is take some personal responsibility. There's one of two ways. You can either be a victim about things, which is like, woe is me, this shit always happens to me. And the other one, like Justin, you said, it's like, it sucks pointing our fingers at ourselves, yeah. But it's also the only thing that you can ever control is you. And so don't be like, well, other people are doing it, so I thought it was fine. Fucking bullshit. Like, take responsibility. It's you, right? And so when the hammer comes down, it's coming on you. Learn your lessons and get better at it. With that, again, we've said it before, please, 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 this was really just a conversation starter more than anything. Right below, leave your comments, leave your questions. Are we spot on? Did we completely miss the mark? What have you seen happen? I think if we can get call it like a universal consciousness of Facebook, right? Of like what's happening in the marketing world, we're all going to be better off. And I think that was the intention for us to kind of leave you with that, and not to sell you or anything. Just really like, let's rally and hopefully make this better for anyone. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Guys, any final thoughts?
I have a real quick one. Same thing down here below. I don't know there's very few industries like this where, technically we're all kind of competitors, but I know that we've all treated it, as just friends and hey, let's get to know each other. I think we're all on the same page of there's so much damn business out there. Yeah. And there's so many people out there. I can share my trade secrets and you guys can share, it doesn't really matter, but there are not very many platforms like this right here where you can get people who are technically competitors to come on and just raise our hands and say, look, we're here to help any way that we possibly can. So please, please, please leave your comments down below. Each one of us, I think, are going to send this to our list and say, hey, there's a bunch of other guys that we worked with before. Watch this video. So I know we're going to send this out to our respective lists. And again, we're not spamming. We're not asking you to buy anything. We're just saying, as a collective group of people, we're really concerned as Facebook citizens. Please give us your feedback down below. And for just you watching this video, I just really appreciate you being part of the conversation. So thanks everybody for arranging it. Justin, you had an awesome Facebook post. And Ilan, you just started taking this off too. So thanks, you guys. I appreciate you setting this up. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Curt.
Yeah, one last thing I would like to ask. I'm going to do my best to make sure that the right people at Facebook see this. This conversation is not going to work if we have a lot of really hateful comments towards Facebook. So if you're leaving a comment,
make it positive, I think is what he's trying to say.
Don't shoot us in the foot by being vulgar or by
Damn you, internet connection.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
That will be the best.
Jason, hit it.
Ilan, you got a Mac? You on a Mac?
Yeah. Why?
I'm with you, Curt.
I'm on a Mac. Is he on a PC?
That's the problem, Justin. It's that Surface Pro 3, buddy. Well, I guess I can finish up Justin's thought because, Curt's way more eloquent than I am. Ilan's way more on point than I am. And Justin has more authority than I do. But I agree with, what Justin was trying to say there is, let's just keep it positive. This is my daughter.
Perfect
I'm trying to feed my family too. That's what this is about to me. So, let's be responsible. Let's have a unified voice where we can, try to affect some positive change in Facebook, make the marketing community, the direct response Facebook marketing community better, more transparent, yes, more upfront with consumers even. And, let's keep it positive towards Facebook, but hopefully we can maybe start moving the ball and getting some momentum behind this so that, they'll, give us the same kind of respect back with transparency that they really expect out of us and giving to them.
Yeah. I think what Justin said is beautiful, which is like, here's the question you want to ask yourself before you post a comment. And I know look, before we got on here, full disclosure, we were all bitching, right? But like we bitched not to just bitch, but to bitch to like get it out of our space so we can show up onto this video and actually give you guys useful information and not just be like, well, fuck them. Like that's not moving the conversation forward. So I want you to ask before you leave a comment, just ask yourself, is this comment moving this conversation forward? Is it pushing this dialogue? Is it helping someone? And if it's a no to those things, please just don't leave that comment.
I mean, just one small thing here is my perfect win, in my personal opinion here, is that someone from Facebook reads this and they start reading down comments of stories and situations and issues. As soon as someone says, I can't fucking believe that this piece of shit, that they won't take us seriously. So please, again, just take this serious as a business, chime in. I really appreciate everybody's work here. Like, that's the only thing that's going to stop this conversation is people going on to attack. It's great to complain, do it somewhere else, be a part of the conversation and the solution. And, you know, I really hope someone from Facebook sees this and reads down everything and sees all the horror stories and the war stories of Justin couldn't have said it better, how we feed our family.
Yeah, so, brilliant. All right, boys, I just want to say massive, massive thank you to you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Because I know everyone's time is the most valuable thing. We did this without any intention to sell anything. Like, that was actually one of the big, bold letter things when we discussed this. I was seriously, so from the bottom of my heart and hopefully from the bottom of everyone that's going to be watching this, thank you guys for taking your time, sharing your wisdom. Like Jason said, I'm actually humbled just to call you my peers. And like, I love what Curt said. It's like, how crazy is it? It's like, imagine if the banks of the world, like the 4 largest banks, decided that they were going to sit on a forum together and share secrets with, you'd be like, no. No. Yeah. So that's a cool thing that we have this in our industry. And I've always loved that. So, Jason, Justin, I know fell off because of his Surface 3. And Curt, thank you guys so much. And yeah, guys, leave your comments, please. And we'll be back hopefully in the beginning of January with some more information and answering some of your questions and listening to more of your comments. All right. Till then, have an amazing holiday season, guys, and we'll talk real soon.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.